A former Smithfield church pastor is being charged with child molestation. Police say the alleged victim accused Archie Emerson, formerly of the Ocean State Baptist Church, of molesting her several times between the ages of 6 and 11. Emerson was arrested on Friday and has been arraigned in court and is due to make another appearance in October. Good morning, and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you, and happy Monday, August 3rd, 2020. In this fine year, this is Joe Callahan. Romeo Berthum is here. Good morning to you, Romeo.
Good morning, Joe.
Nice to have you here.
Always a pleasure.
And former Woonsocket Mayor Charlie Baldelli is here. Hello there, Charlie.
Good morning, Mr. Callahan. Let me say good morning to my friend Newt.
Newt.
All right, good morning, Newt.
Newt. I saw Newt this weekend. I said, I'll say hello to Newt.
And a happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Charlie turns something tomorrow.
You can say 87 tomorrow.
87 tomorrow. All
And
right.
let me tell you, what a way to start the day. Romeo comes in with a homemade blueberry muffin with a candle.
And it was lit.
And it was lit.
Candle
And
was lit.
It was lit
wonderful,
just like
beautiful wife made them last night.
Last night.
That's
He
excellent.
brought it in with a candle that was lit and took all I had to blow out the candle.
Oh, you blew it out, Charlie. Happy birthday.
You got a lot
Thank
of
you.
you got a lot of wind, Charlie.
Oh,
Old
you,
politicians
thank you,
joke.
thank you.
that was.
You mean like I'm a blowhard or something like
I
that?
don't want to say
Was
that.
that a left-handed? Left-handed.
No, I'm more of a right-handed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more right-handed, I think.
You know, before we go on, if you don't mind, Joe, my daughter-in-law was watching a replay of last week's Coffee Ann. And look at that guy. How old do you think he is? She says, she's not from this area. So she said, 72, 73. I said, well, he'll be happy to hear that. But then when you kept talking, she said, he reminds me of Regis Philbin. Did
You're
you ever-
right.
Did
You're
you ever
right. Yeah.
get that impression? Anybody
Now
ever
that you
tell
think, now that you say it, yeah.
I mean, he looks like him a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's his mannerisms,
Boy,
you know.
in great
Yeah.
company, right?
Plus,
Regis and I, wow.
Regis had just
Yeah.
passed away, but that's basically how he was, kind of.
Yeah, upbeat guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
upbeat.
The late
You're
Regis Philbin. So,
All right, this segment of the Coffee and Program is sponsored by Windermere Woods.
Windermere Woods, located at 1044 Menden Road in Woonsocket. Windermere Woods, 401-762-4226, and also on the web at windermerewoods.com. Live at Windermere Woods in a nice atmosphere that provides caring, security, and comfort. Once you move in, you'll want to stay at Windermere Woods for many years and be happy. It's a comfortable place to live and meet new people, enjoy regular meals, and get peace of mind. Windermere Woods is a small community with a nice, friendly atmosphere, and Windermere Woods is affordable. Windermere Woods offers such programs as housekeeping services, transportation to doctor's appointments, and to shopping. Windermere Woods is a very secure facility, 24/7 staffing. Someone's there day and night. They provide social entertainment activities and invite you to come by and visit. Windermere Woods, 1044 Menden Road, Woonsocket, 401-762-4226. Windermere Woods.
And it's Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. And this is Joe Callahan here with Romeo Berthum and Charlie Baldelli. First thing we want to bring up is the passing of Al Brian.
Absolutely.
And we got the news late Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
That he had passed away. And from what I hear, what I read, his funeral is coming up this coming Saturday.
okay.
And his wake will be this coming Friday at 4 at the Holt Funeral Home.
South Main.
On South Main here in Woonsocket, and then the funeral will be on Saturday. I'm sure we'll get more information on those as the week goes on. But Charlie, how long did you know Al?
Oh, we both got elected to the House of Representatives in 1975.
Wow.
45 years ago.
And we sat together just about.
Mm-hmm.
for 10 years. That's a long time.
As state reps.
Yeah.
Down there, okay, and then you became mayor, and he became councilman. How many years was he councilman? I know he did a couple of stints.
Not that many, huh? About 4, maybe 6.
Yeah.
He was
Probably.
council president at one time.
He was.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
And
And he was your public. He was your.
Well, what happened, and this involves a friend of yours,
Okay.
Eddie Parenta was the
Yep.
guy,
Finance director.
finance director, and as you know, he was limited. He could only come in several days a week, maybe 2-3 days a
Yep.
week.
Yep.
And at that time, Al lost his job or his business. So I told Eddie Parenta, look, I'm going to move Al Brand into your office. I'm going to move you over, but you can work whatever schedule you want. Your pay will be the same. It's
Wow.
just, I want you to know that I needed somebody here full time. And he did a great job.
Yep.
But I want to address something that you said, Joe, was just flattering and a compliment to me. You said, very few people you know that are 87 that don't have a walker or a cane or anything.
How many do you know that don't have some kind of aid to help them?
And I have to tell you my favorite story about that. And
All
I
right.
used to tell my friends who had played ball with us in the senior softball league and all of that.
Yeah.
And I would point to my legs and I say, hey guys, what are these?
Mm-hmm.
And they would say, those are your legs. I go, no, that's not your legs. That's the foundation of your body is your legs. You're going to keep them strong.
Keep
Yes.
them moving.
And if you keep them strong, you won't have to worry about when you get older with a cane and a walker and a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
That's been my philosophy for the longest time. Those are not legs. If you're listening out there, your legs are the foundation of your body. It holds you up and it'll treat you well. But walk. My favorite thing is walk. I
How
don't
far?
like
How far do you?
exercising.
How far do you walk in a day, on an average?
Well, in the city, it's a little over a mile.
Okay.
And in Florida, maybe it's 2 or 3 miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And walking is everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like lifting weights or stuff like that. Walking is enough for me to keep my health.
Does good for your legs and good for your heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so if you're out there and you're not being mobile, get out there, walk. It's beautiful weather.
Mm-hmm.
Stay nice and cool and walk. And when you get older, like me, you won't need a cane or a walker or a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Remember, your legs, right, Romeo?
Absolutely. Words of wisdom from Dr. Baldelli this morning. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity for me to relay that.
That is
problem.
true, though. You're absolutely
It
right.
is.
It's an exercise you can do when you're young, when you're middle-aged, when you're old, provided that you've been walking. You can't
Right.
stop walking at 84. You have to stop walking, when you're young. You just keep doing it. It's doesn't even matter how many miles you walk. It
Right.
matters on the consistency. You have to do it every day.
I told a friend
Yeah.
of mine, he said, well, I'm not a walker. I said, you know what, in the morning or at dusk time when it's kind
Yeah.
of cooler,
Evening.
walk maybe 2 telephone poles.
Wow.
And then, then
Yeah.
maybe 3.
Start slow.
Maybe 4.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
give yourself a target.
Yep.
So anyway, the good Lord has been good to me. I've been blessed with very good health. So,
Yeah, that's right.
You have, and you got some pretty good genes. Your mom lived to be how old?
92.
There you go.
yeah.
And when people say, "Well, I'm not a walker," oh, come on! You've been walking since you were a year.
Yeah,
You're right. You're
You've
right.
been walking
You're
your
right,
entire
right,
life.
That's
You're,
good.
you're always a walker.
that's considered a milestone in one's life when they start walking. When a baby starts walking. Oh yeah, he took his first steps at 11 months, and then
Yeah.
at 2 years old, said his first words, and it's true. You're absolutely right. Charlie probably said his first words when he was like 8 months old.
Yeah, my words were, please vote for me.
Anyway, happy birthday, Charlie. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So my dealings with Al Breen were always
Yeah.
here at the station.
Okay.
Whenever he came in to be interviewed with Don.
Oh, all right.
That's always when I
Yeah.
when I spoke with Al, and I asked him one time, Al, when are you going to get rid of that car?
Yeah, that
You know,
Mercury.
that oh my God, that
Mercury
station wagon,
yeah.
station wagon.
Yeah.
But you always knew it was him with the AB and the license plate.
That was his.
and it was never. He goes, I'm never getting rid of that.
Yeah, that was his signature automobile.
It's the same thing with my car.
Yeah.
Bought it
Yeah,
in 2004.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Steve D'Agostino said to me one day, you got the best car in the state of Rhode Island.
Yeah,
No payments
that's
and no taxes.
that's number one. Number two,
And no taxes.
and number three, it
And
runs.
I tell my wife all the time,
Yeah.
see this car? She said,
Yeah.
aren't you tired of it? You've had it now since 2004. I say, Jeanette, this car is my hearse. This is the last
Wow.
I'm going to ride in. This one here.
Wow.
And I'm well on the way of keeping it.
You ever hear about guys that love mostly their classic cars, and they want to be buried in the car?
Oh, yeah.
You can be. I mean, it's going to cost a pretty penny because you got to get a much larger plot.
Yeah,
But you
sure.
can be buried in your car, Charlie, if you really want to.
Oh, I really don't want to.
Oh, all right then. All right, that's fine.
I think I'm going to give it to Romeo.
All right. Well, you're assuming.
It runs very, very well. I'm so
Yeah.
comfortable in that, and I don't like driving.
Yeah.
You can believe this that you can't, but this is the truth.
Well, I've seen you on the road, Charlie.
I do not drive out of the city, number
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Number two, in Florida, if I drive in 6 months, if I drive a half a mile in 6 months,
In 6 months.
it's a lot. I don't drive. Janetta's the driver.
She's the chauffeur, huh?
She
I
is.
want to be Charlie's personal driver.
Oh, that would be great.
That'd be a great job. Wouldn't that be
I
fun?
had
When you
that.
were mayor, did you have a
I
personal
had a
driver?
chauffeur when I was
Yeah.
mayor.
Policeman,
He was really
local
a bodyguard.
cop. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Ray
didn't need a
Lemoyne.
body.
Why
Did you
don't we?
need a bodyguard, Charlie?
Yeah, what a tough guy he was.
Who's
Ray
that?
Lemoyne.
Oh,
God.
yeah, I remember
my
him.
God,
Yeah.
tough guy.
Yeah.
Got wounded out in Vietnam, and I got him a veteran's plate 167 because he got wounded in January 1967.
Wow.
You see 167.
There you go.
Salute Ray Lemoyne.
So, so see, Joe, if you want.
Well,
especially-
I don't want to be shot at. I just want to drive him to the store and
But
things
the
like
reason
that.
why-
You know?
The reason why I end up with a bodyguard is that somebody shot up my house
Really?
when I was the mayor.
Wow.
It's like a 12 gauge through the front window.
You're kidding.
No,
What was the controversy about? You
I
know?
don't know. They never found out who did it.
Yeah.
So
Did you raise the taxes
I
that
don't know.
year?
Well,
That's
the
usually the
operation had
issue.
Something to do with it, probably. I was targeted by someone. I would find a dead fish on my porch, nails in my driveway. Somebody shot up the front window. I was giving a speech at the Chans one night when I went out there. Every window in my car was smashed in.
Wow.
And so Chief Finch said, look, before something drastic happens,
gonna
sign
give it
Sergeant Lemoyne
To you. Okay.
to you. And he was a great, great guy. Love that guy. Can I tell you one quick funny story?
Yeah.
Only one?
All right, yeah. I got a lot of funny stories, but in politics someday we'll get into it. But anyway,
Someday.
Chief Lynch calls me and he says, can I borrow Sergeant Lemoyne? I said, sure, why not? I said, why?
It works for you. So-
Yeah, he said, I have to deliver someone, a prisoner, to the ACI, and I'm shorthanded today. So I'd like to have Ray drive him down. So Ray said, you're doing anything? I said, I can take some time off. He said, well, come with me. We're going to take this individual
all right.
to the ACI. So we go to what they call the Sally Port. And they put the prisoner, they got him cuffed in the back and sit him in a seat.
Yeah.
And between the back seat and the front seat, there's a wire mesh, like
Yeah.
a chain link fence. Mm-hmm. So I get in the car, and I never used the seatbelt back then. So Ray looks at me and he quietly says, wear the seatbelt today. Wear it today because there's going to be some sudden stops.
Okay.
So we're driving down, and the guy is cursing Ray. You pigs, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And Ray looks in the rearview mirror, and he says, you know what, you're a good-looking guy. And we're going to give you a screen test. He slams on the brakes, and the guy head first into the mesh. Wow! He looks like a checkerboard, his face, you know. So now he starts swearing even more.
I'm sure.
So Ray says, you failed the test. We're going to give you another test.
one.
Another screen test coming. Slams on the brakes. The guy head first into the ground. He never said another word.
I guess not.
I said, so whenever I hear the word screen test, all I can conjure up is this guy.
And you were okay because you were wearing your seatbelt.
Yeah, I had my
You-
seatbelt
No,
on.
no issues for you.
When they got him to
that's
the
funny.
ACI, they didn't recognize that's not him.
He was very docile.
what's wrong with
he
his
was very
face?
docile.
That's
He flunk too, but anyway.
Wow.
All right, more coffee ends coming your way. Comments and questions can be called in 766-1240 or email them into coffee@woonsocketadio.com. This segment of the Coffee and program is sponsored by Windermere Woods.
Windermere Woods, located at 1044 Menden Road in Woonsocket. Windermere Woods, 401-762-4226, and also on the web at windermerewoods.com. Live at Windermere Woods in a nice atmosphere that provides caring, security, and comfort. Once you move in, you'll want to stay at Windermere Woods for many years and be happy. It's a comfortable place to live and meet new people. enjoy regular meals, and get peace of mind. Windermere Woods is a small community with a nice, friendly atmosphere, and Windermere Woods is affordable. Windermere Woods offers such programs as housekeeping services, transportation to doctor's appointments, and to shopping. Windermere Woods is a very secure facility, 24/7 staffing. Someone's there day and night. They provide social entertainment activities and invite you to come by and visit. Windermere Woods, 1044 Minden Road, Woonsocket, 401-762-4226. Windermere Woods.
The Baroaster House restaurant on Pond Street in Woonsocket is open for takeout and delivery of any dish on their menu. All you have to do is call them at 762-1717. Tell them if you'll pick it up or if you want it delivered. You have a choice. The Baroaster House is open 7 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 4 to 8, Thursday 4 to 9, and Friday and Saturday 3 to 9, Sundays noon to 8. You don't have to miss your favorite Baroaster House meal. Order takeout or delivery at 762-1717. That's 762-1717. The Baroaster House.
I'm here with Kara Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency. Kara, what's most important to you as a business owner?
The most important thing to me as a business owner is to be there for my customers in the moment of truth. It's not just writing the policy and you're done. It's about being there for my customers when there's an accident, a fire, or even a death. Helping them get through tough moments in life. That's my job as an agent.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
Our business is truly a referral business, and we have built it based on our premier service level and commitment to what we do. If you are looking for personalized service with people who care, that would be us.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide.
All right, Coffee Ann here on ON AM and FM. Joe Callahan here with Romeo Berthium and Charlie Baldelli. Well, we mentioned it last week, Charlie and Romeo, because the baseball season started, and of course, many people saying if the baseball season ends with a World Series, it's going to be a miracle. And look at what is going on with the Marlins and the Cardinals and other teams that are testing positive for COVID-19. And I'm still under that assumption that if this season actually ends with a World Series and doesn't get stopped somewhere along the way, it's going to be amazing. And I still think it's going to be stopped.
A lot of people
somewhere
say that.
along the way.
I was just going to say that.
Which would be great because the Red Sox are doing well. And we're just going to throw this whole thing out. We're 10 games into the season. We're sixth of the way into the season. 3 wins.
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
So I think we're in trouble.
Completely in last place. We're already like 4 games out of first place. The Yankees are already running away with it. And so the silver lining is maybe they'll just shut the season down and say, forget the whole thing.
Why don't they?
Well, the majority of the teams are still doing okay.
How's your nephew?
The Twins are doing great.
Twins are doing well.
They are, yeah.
They're in first place.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. They play Cleveland.
They
They're
did well.
nemesis, and they had a good series
Super.
there.
Glad to hear that.
So, and then, the Sox over the weekend had the Nathan Eovaldi, who had his heart issues because of COVID-19. They said, all right, forget the whole thing. You're not even playing.
Really?
So, they shut him down for the season.
They shut him down, Rodriguez down,
Yes.
Sale down.
Sale's out because of Tommy John.
Right.
Rodriguez? Rodriguez is done because of his heart.
And Eovaldi's out.
And then
now.
you had Price was traded,
Right.
and Porcello went for free agency. So
Right.
all we have is Nathan Eovaldi. And he's doing, he's got 1 win.
Is Baltimore ahead of the Red Sox? So
Yes, they're in second place.
Oh my God!
We got Nathan Eovaldi, and then we got nobody. We've got a rotating cast of characters that are just can't make it out of the second or the third inning. It's so depressing to watch.
It's not working at Pawtucket, McCoy Stadium.
Well, they
have that.
They got their taxi squad down there, and there's a couple of people that are they're still working things out to come up, and they'll probably come up in a week or so. But I don't know if it's going to make any difference.
No arms. No arms.
None. And when they come in, they get hammered.
Yeah.
So they have today off. Hooray. Now, they're supposed to play tomorrow, but the tropical storm is showing up, so they may not be playing tomorrow. And then they'll be playing Tampa Bay. They're in third place, so everybody's ahead of the Red Sox. And so remember what we said. After the first 20 games, if they're 5-15, and it's looking like they're going to be 5-15 after 20 games. That 3-7 right now. It'll just be, okay, we're all done.
Charlie, in your younger day, way back when,
That's a long time ago. My younger
were
days.
you ever a Yankees fan?
No.
Okay, that's rare.
But all the old Italians were Yankee fans.
That's what I-
Well, you know
that's
what?
what
You
I-
had Joe DiMaggio, Tony Lazzeri, you had all those Italian players that were playing Yogi Berra, and who was the shortstop? He was an Italian guy.
Phil Rizzuto.
Phil Rizzuto, yes, thank
Scooter.
you, Joe. And they had all these Italians on the New York Yankee team, and all the old timers, they loved the Yankees.
Rizzuto has a nephew or a cousin who's a doctor. He's not a dermatologist, but he's a facial reconstruction doctor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a
Like a
issue
plastic surgeon or
2
something?
years ago. This is all fake. No, actually, I had an accident about 25, 30 years ago at school, and I had a bad cut over my eye, and went to the emergency room, of course. And they said, no, we're not going to stitch that up. That's going to be a mess if we do it. We have we're going to get a surgeon to do that. And it was Dr. Rizzuto, and
Wow.
I asked him. You did a great job. Can't tell. It's right below my eyebrow, and he said, or in the eyebrow. He said. So I asked him. I says, "Are you by any chance related to?"
Right.
He said, "Absolutely," and he told me how he was. So nice guy.
Wow.
Phil Rizzuto.
Well, most Italians are nice guys.
That's true.
Isn't that a truth?
Absolutely.
That's an absolutely
Yeah,
true
I
story.
I would never say.
You don't
anything
believe me? Ask
to the
my wife.
contrary. No, she's not Italian.
So did you catch the Red Sox Saturday night? The game was on Fox.
I did not.
I did
do
not.
confess.
Okay. I don't know why, but Fox somehow superimposed fans into Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
And from far away, it looked like real people. I'm like, how did these people get in here? And
Yeah,
then they went on
yeah.
to explain,
Yeah.
oh, they're not
real
really
people.
there. They're
Yeah.
virtual people. I'm like, this is adding nothing to the telecast.
No.
I said, I go, it's annoying because it was a home run was hit, and it looked like real people. I'm waiting for them to start jumping for the
Did
ball.
they-
and-
Right.
Yeah.
but no, they
No.
didn't. They just sat there.
They're
I
robots.
go, this is dull. And if you think you're enhancing the game for the home viewer, you're not. Just leave it blank or put those cardboard cutouts. I'd rather see them.
For $500, you too
Absolutely.
could be a cardboard.
You
I
need a
got-
cardboard cutout.
I caught the last 2 minutes of the Celtics
Yeah.
game yesterday. I
So
wanted
that was-
I wanted to watch the news, so I had to put on that same station.
They're in Orlando, aren't they?
Yeah, with the Celtics.
Everybody is.
Oh, the
It
hockey-
took forever to play 2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
It is. It
That's why I don't watch.
It takes 30 minutes to play 2 minutes in
The
basketball.
last few
I couldn't
minutes of
believe
the,
it. And they had cutouts of people in the stands.
Yeah, they do.
And mimicking roaring noises.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, I said, it'll be over in 2 minutes. We'll watch the news.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5
Yeah.
minutes. Oh my God!
It's like a football game in a way. They do the same thing.
They play for about 5 seconds and they call
Yeah,
timeout.
they do the 2-minute warning.
Or they do a foul,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
or
a
now
foul.
you got to go to the line and
inbound ball, bang! The guy hits him, up, foul.
yeah, and it takes
foul.
3 seconds.
They save all their timeouts for the end. Most teams do.
They do.
You don't blame
And
them.
on purpose.
I said
Yeah.
to myself, this is the reason why I don't watch basketball
Okay.
at all.
And then the Bruins look lousy.
They're in Toronto, right?
They play in all their games in Toronto.
Yeah.
And they got knocked around pretty good yesterday by the Flyers. So, but they'll keep moving on. They're going to play Wednesday, and then they'll still make it to the qualifying rounds of the NHL. They'll make it to the quarterfinals at least.
I could not believe the 7th game for the Stanley Cup played in Boston, and they looked horrible, and they lost to St. Louis, whatever.
Oh, that
Blues?
was last year or so ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At home, the 7th and deciding
Yeah.
game,
Yeah, I
they're
know.
playing at
Happens.
home, and they looked terrible.
It happens.
And I happened to be in St. Louis.
Yeah,
After
at the same
series
time.
was
Oh, yeah.
over, all over the city. St. Louis, I don't even know that.
Well, it's the
St.
first-
Louis what?
Blues.
Blues. St. Louis Blues. All over the place.
It was the first time they ever won.
Yeah.
the Stanley Cup.
Every storefront had a St. Louis Blues, yes.
That Boston-St. Louis competition, not only in hockey, I mean, in baseball especially, is
Yeah.
strong
Oh,
too.
that's right. That's several
Didn't
times.
they play in 1946?
Yeah,
You would know
absolutely.
that. The reason
Yes,
I mentioned that,
St. Louis won.
the year I was born. But the point is, they also played in, I think it was 67, am I right?
Yes.
The Impossible?
you're right.
And St. Louis won.
And St. Louis, of course. But they did beat them.
But
in
we got
one
them
of the
back.
World Series. Yeah, we did.
Two of them.
Yeah.
I remember one
Why-
player,
why
Dennis
was-
Slaughter. Remember him?
Oh, I know the name.
Yeah.
Why was that? Why was St. Louis such a strong? Well, they were basically a lot of fans from this area. A lot of people from this area are St. Louis fans. Do you know the background to that?
I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
But you're right. There were just St. Louis
Yeah.
Cardinal fans all over
Yeah.
the country.
Yeah.
Like there are Red Sox fans all over the country
Yeah,
and Yankee
true.
fans all over the country.
Yeah.
But so was St. Louis.
Yeah.
And I don't know why
Was St.
that
Louis
is.
the only team out west at one time before they expanded?
It might have been the one that
Yeah,
before they decided
yeah.
to go out to California.
Yeah, yeah.
And St. Louis as far west as they went.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, it's interesting.
So we did get a note that was written in just about the Red Sox does not get Ron Renicky, the manager. Bryce strikes out the side in the first, yet does not come out for the second inning. Must have been on a pitch count. That's the only thing I can think of. Hall gets pounded, and the rest of the bullpen, well, you know, and then Judge hits his 2 mammoth home runs. They still haven't landed in New Jersey yet. They were crushing home runs. And they even said, if you throw it low and away to this guy, he has trouble hitting it. If you throw it over the plate around his belt buckle, he's going to smash it out. And each time he smashed it out, well, look where the ball is. It's right over the plate and at his belt buckle, and he smashes it out. You can't throw it there, ever. So that's what's going on with those guys. So yeah, if you're going to pump in the crowd noise, you know, fine. I guess the players want that. But the virtual fans that the players could not see, only the home viewer could see it, was just ridiculous. It didn't add anything to the game. I wasn't like, oh, good, there's fans in the stands.
Right.
Oh, yeah, this really enhances everything. No. I'd rather just see the empty seats. And I know why they're empty seats.
Yeah.
Because no one can be there. Okay. I know
Well,
what's going on,
they
so
need the
fake
incentive
fans.
of the crowd behind them. They need
Well,
that
that's why the
incentive.
noise is there.
Well, it's like a Broadway play. You know, those actors, if they performed without an audience,
Yeah.
the reaction from the actors to each other wouldn't be as good as it is, obviously. As opposed to a movie where they'll probably do 10 takes before they actually say, okay, that's good, but that's a little different. But most actors who start off on the stage, and most of them do, I think, will say the first thing they will say when you interview them is, we much prefer being on the stage than being in a movie because of the reaction.
Well, you get that
Yeah, right,
immediate,
right.
They get same thing
okay.
with. I'm sure it's the same thing with athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they like the buzz of the crowd. And,
Of course.
And they said, especially if you're at home
Yeah.
and you're the another pitcher coming in and the crowd's cheering for you,
Yeah.
well, yeah, you get all pumped up and get all
Of course
excited
you
for
do.
that. But but now you're a professional, and you got to do it. You got to pump up yourself.
Can you imagine Babe Ruth giving his farewell address back in the late 40s without an audience, without a crowd?
To nobody.
Yeah.
All Lou Gehrig and all of
Yeah,
that.
that would have been, anyway.
I got to
Or-
say this.
yeah,
I was with
yeah.
Richard Lepine, and he had secured a luxury box at Patriot Stadium.
Patriots.
Yeah, and we were right next to Nairobi and those guys.
Okay.
And they feed you all the time.
I know. I've heard.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I've
And
heard.
The
Yeah.
game starts, they open the window so you can hear the crowd noise.
Exactly. Yep.
You can't hear the crowd noise while you're sitting there.
No.
But now the game starts, they open up all those big windows so you can hear the noise of the
Absolutely.
crowd. I was stunned by that.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, there's a reason they do that, Charlie.
Why?
They want you to be
Yeah, yeah.
cold.
So you feel you're in the game. You feel
Exactly.
like you're not just watching it on a TV monitor.
Yep.
You're part of it.
I was
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
The Patriots have got the most players that have opted out for this year. They're up to 8.
8 players have opted
I
out.
said,
Yeah.
nah, we're not going to play this year. And they all have their reasons, mostly health
Are
related.
they going to be playing in empty stadiums or not?
No, Gillette said they were going to have like 20% full.
Okay.
Because I guess you can spread them out.
Yeah, you could.
All right, you have to go over there and then like this, and so it's gonna look empty, but at least there'll be they won't be virtual fans. There'll be real fans there. And who gets to go? Who out of the 20% get to go?
Season's
that's
ticket
right,
holders,
yeah.
for sure.
But if you have a season
Okay.
ticket holder and you're on the 50-yard line down low, it said, well, now because of COVID-19, you're in section 320. On the
Why?
20-yard line. What? Wait, that's not what I paid for. What do you mean I gotta go up?
Of course, they'll give them a refund.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
knowing the Patriots, they're not big on refunds.
Anything.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program. It's time for a look at the forecast. The forecast being brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council.
Wow.
Today, sunny skies. It's going to be warm, high near 91. A little windy today, gusts up to 23 miles per hour. Tonight, increasing clouds, low around 72. Tuesday, the fun begins.
Tuesday.
Tuesday night, I think, right?
Of course, it's my birthday Tuesday. That's why the fun will begin.
The fun will begin on Charlie's birthday. Cloudy, chance of showers all throughout the day, and a high temperature will be near 83 Tuesday night. That's when the real stuff's going to hit. Cloudy skies, showers, possibly thunderstorms. Some of the storms could produce heavy rain, high winds, increasing to 24 to 34 miles per hour. Rainfall 1 to 2 inches possible. Wednesday, partly sunny day. Still a chance of some showers on Wednesday. High near 86. Thursday, sunny. High near 84. So Tuesday and Tuesday night on Charlie's birthday is when the fun's going to begin.
Oh, hey, how do you pronounce the name of the hurricane? Is it Isaiah or Isis-Aya or
Isis? I think
Isaiah,
it's
yeah.
something like
Ask
that.
Joe. Joe knows. He's a word.
They're all pronouncing it differently.
I know.
Why do they pick a name like that?
I'm going with Ike.
It's not fair to the
Ike?
broadcast.
Just be Ike.
It's not fair to the broadcasters.
I know.
Yeah, really.
It's a dumb name they picked.
Yeah,
for
I
this
think so.
time
Yeah.
around. All right. Currently, outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, it's warm and humid. We have 84 degrees. Real products are tested for safety. Protect yourself. Visit ncpc.org/go4real. Brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council and the United States Patent and Trademark Office.
Here's an update from Wright's Dairy Farm in North Smithfield. Wright's Dairy Farm is operating with a no-contact curbside pickup. Your order can be placed online where you pick a specific date and time to pick it up. You can also visit wrightsdairyfarm.com and place your order online. But now, you can also order directly from your vehicle from the Wright's Dairy Farm parking lot, and they'll bring it right out to you. They're always stocked with their full line of dairy products, baked goods, and ice cream. And speaking of ice cream, the Wright's Dairy Farm ice cream trailer is now open. Stop by the Wright Scoop for a cup or a cone of their farmstead ice cream. Wright's Dairy Farm is open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wright's Dairy Farm on Woonsocket Hill Road in North Smithfield. Real cows, real food, real people, real good.
Hello, this is Manny Brando.
And this is Virginia. And Manny, now you have to start getting up a half hour earlier because our show is going to begin at 8:30 until 9:30.
I can't get up that early. 8:30 to 9:30. Oh,
That
no.
is correct. That is our new time slot.
I'm confused.
What else is new?
Oh, boy.
This segment of the Coffee and program is sponsored by the Call newspaper.
The Call is proud to announce a new and improved daily classified advertising program for our newspaper readers, subscribers, and advertisers. Blackstone Valley Values is a more affordable local buying and selling marketplace every day of the week. Lost and found, apartment rentals, items for sale, homes for sale or rent, and even job listings will now be even more within your reach. As always, if you have something you want to sell, call us today with your ad and it'll appear in the next day's call. Be sure to contact us, though, before the 3 p.m. deadline. Furthermore, if you're a subscriber to the Call, you'll benefit from value member discounts and possibly some free advertisements with this new program offer. The Call continues to be dedicated to you, as we have been for over 120 years. Call us today and learn more about our new classified program at 767-8503. To subscribe to the Call and become a valued member, call today, 767-8522.
All right, Coffee and here on ON, AM and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here, along with Romeo Berthum, Charlie Baldelli. Another note's been written in because I mentioned this word. Boy, do I hate those two words, pitch count. But it's true. The pitcher for the Yankees yesterday, he was only in for about 50, and then he was doing well, and then they took him out.
That must be my brother.
If the guy looks sharp, leave him in. Well, it's all what the doctor says. I don't know. Too many cancellations in baseball, and there are. There's going to be a lot of doubleheaders coming up if they continue. And the rest of the season could be jeopardy. It could be in jeopardy because of this, and I agree with that. And they may right around Labor Day, they may just say this it's too much. It's too many people are sick or have tested positive, and there's just going to be too many doubleheaders. We can't even get to 60 games, and they'll say, we're going to forget. We're shutting it down for the entire year, and we'll try again next year.
People are starting to say, who cares? Who cares?
I did read that something quickly on that over the weekend that the TV viewership, which I thought was going to be through the roof, is not for both the NBA and Major League Baseball. They attribute a lot of that to the whole kneeling down during the national anthem stuff. And so people have just decided, well, I'm not watching any of the games if they're going to do that.
Right. They had a great shot of the Boston Bruins. They were locking arms.
They lock arms.
They lock arms during the playing of the national anthem.
You had predicted, or not predicted, suggested that they eliminate the national anthem.
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't done that?
No one has done that. Maybe soccer, but I'm not sure. But out of the four major sports, no. They and not only that, because the Bruins are playing the Philadelphia Flyers, but because they're playing in Toronto, they play the Canadian. They play the Canadian and the American national anthem.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just going to keep doing it. Mostly now in baseball, they did it at the beginning, but right now they don't show the national anthem on TV.
Really?
No, they did it for the game number 1, but after that, they've never shown it on TV unless it's the World Series. They'll show it then because they're all lined up along the baselines.
Well, I was impressed with the Bruins.
The Bruins decided that. They came up with a statement and said, instead of kneeling down, and it's tough to kneel down when you're on skates.
It is, yeah.
And then get back up. It's a pain. So they're going to stand there and lock arms. Okay. And the coaches lock arms on the bench.
Good.
Okay. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. And I've gotten to the point, Charlie and Romeo, maybe you agree with this or not. I'm very good at being able to separate things. And this whole Black Lives Matter is it's so political. All right. I'm separating politics from the sports, and I don't care if that's what you want to. If they want to put up signs, if the NBA wants to wear stuff on the back of the shirt, fine. I just want to watch the game. I just want to be entertained. Well, I want the Red Sox to win.
Of course,
I want to be entertained by the game, and I don't care what your politics are at all. If you can hit the ball, great. If you can catch the ball, great. That's what I want to see.
I think most sports fans, like fanatics, like you are, Joe.
Right.
The word fan comes from the word fanatic, but you're really into it. I agree. I think most feel exactly the way you do.
But a lot of people are not. They're saying, "Well, that's it. I'm not watching Major League Baseball because some of them are kneeling down, or I'm not watching the NBA because they're kneeling down, or I'm not going to watch football when the NFL season starts because they're going to kneel down during the national anthem."
Talking about politics, if I could just shift the gears a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think they should postpone the election?
No. I thought that was a dumb statement
you're the historian.
from the
you can't
president.
do that
They can't.
legally. You
Congress
can't
has
do
to
that. Under the
approve it.
Constitution, you can't do that.
Many of his fellow Republicans are opposed to it as well. No.
And maybe he said it just to get a rise.
That was typical Trump, where
It was typical Trump.
He doesn't think before he talks.
Yeah.
The more these riots take place, the better chances for Trump to win.
Although
class America is saying, "I've had it with these rioters, these looters."
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think I heard a commentator say over the weekend, and it could have been a political comment. Obviously, it was.
Yeah.
Trump admitted that he's going to lose the election. That's why he said that. He's basically implying, "I won't win if we have the election on November 3rd, so let's postpone it." That's what they're saying.
I heard that.
Yeah. What do you think?
I heard that too.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but
No.
It's a nice ploy. But
and this is the week that Biden will be picking his running mate. Interesting comment by another pretty savvy political commentator that I read over the weekend. I think from either the New York Times or the Washington Post. Even though I don't get those papers, the Call reprints a lot of the Washington Post columns, and they're kind of liberal. I mean, maybe I'm understating it, but they basically I forget who it was that Mr. Biden, if he wins, is really in a position to pick the 47th president, because he would be the 46th.
Right.
He's 78, could die in office, probably won't, but if he did, whoever he picks as his running mate, and it will be a woman, we don't know who yet, will be the next president. That's a lot of power for one person to have, to pick the next president, don't you think? I mean,
yeah,
that's a lot of power. I mean, back in 1944, FDR was ill. I think they knew that, and they got rid of the incumbent vice president. I think his name was Wallace, I'm pretty sure. And they replaced him with the senator from Missouri, Harry Truman. Nobody knew who he was.
Yeah.
But
give him hell,
some
Harry.
people say that the reason they picked him over Wallace, the incumbent, was they were afraid of Wallace, and they knew that they knew, they almost knew, they felt that FDR would not serve out his term. So they got this guy, Truman, whom they thought would be a kind of a caretaker guy, and as it turned out, he turned out to be one of the near greats in the 20th century because of some of the decisions he had to make. But I don't know how you feel about this. Biden picking whoever he picks, that person could be the 47th president, and that's a lot of power for one person, i.e. Biden, to have if he makes that decision by himself.
They're saying that he won't even complete his term.
Well, they're saying
They
that.
won't even he won't complete the 4 years.
Well, if he survives, I don't think he's going to resign, but
That was the rumor.
of course he's not even elected yet. We're assuming he's going to be elected.
I hope not.
That was the rumor last summer.
Yep.
Was he was going to pick, at the time, the rumor was he was going to pick Hillary Clinton as his running mate, then get a, if he got elected,
Yep.
Serve for a couple of months and then resign so Hillary could become president. It still might happen. Not Hillary, because for whatever reason she has just fallen out of
a good way
by
for
the
me,
wayside.
if I were, if I could give him some advice, I would strongly consider a person like Condoleezza Rice. She's Republican. She's a woman. She's black.
I agree.
It would unite the two parties.
I agree.
And they
He would never.
No, I don't think he would. But
never pick her.
don't you think that would be a good move on his part?
Well, he's talking about Susan Rice, who was active in the Obama.
Yeah. But I'm talking about, Condoleezza, who everybody likes.
Yeah.
And then other people have said, hang on to your coffee, Michelle Obama.
She's already doesn't want it.
They all say that.
No, true.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking. I still think he's going to pick Harris.
Yeah, I agree.
Out of
I hope
out of,
not.
out of California.
But if he picks her, that's the next president after him.
That's right.
Number 47. And one person picking one person. I mean, think of the power. As
That's
opposed to, where they have to go through all the primaries and the vetting. She won't have to do any of that with the voters if she's I don't know, And if if Biden is elected, let's assume he is, and has Harris as his running mate and serves out his term, Harris would probably run in 2024, but she won't win because most incumbent vice presidents, there are only two that have made it directly out of the vice presidency.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Martin Van Buren and George H.W. Bush. They're the only two in American history that were incumbent vice presidents who ran and won. All the others who did lost.
Yeah, but it's a different time now, Romeo.
True.
And I'm going to sound so blatant here, but if she comes up and that happens, well, now she's a black woman, and people will just vote for her because she's a black woman.
But in 4 years,
That's
things can change.
Things can change. You're right.
There's a lot. Look at what happened. Look in the last 8 months how things have changed in this country.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
Yeah.
So.
I made a decision, driving in today.
You did?
Yeah, about politics.
You were going to get gas?
No. Actually, I did say that.
I'm going to get gas
when I started the car. I was like, I got to get gas.
I don't run out. Okay, no.
What a way to start the day, Joe.
What was the decision?
The decision was if I hear another politician that I get to vote for, mostly on the federal level, say, as part of their plan, part of their platform, will I reach out across the aisle? I am going to say I am voting against that person.
Across the aisle.
Because none of them do that.
Yeah.
They all say they do, but not one of them does it. And it happened again this time around. I can't vote for Nancy Pelosi. I wish I could, so I can vote against her. But that's a whole other story.
Go to California.
But once again, she came out because the president has picked another doctor to help with the COVID-19 thing, and Nancy Pelosi had to come out against the doctor. Well, you can't like her because Trump likes her. Trump's liked her. So this whole say, I reach across the aisle all the time to the other side. No, you don't.
Yep.
You stick to your party the entire time. There's no reaching out across the aisle.
Well, go back to the impeachment trial.
It was right down the middle.
Not only the Republicans, but the Democrats did the same thing.
But if they make that part of their, it would be like in Massachusetts. It would be like Ed Markey.
Yep.
If he came out and said, "Well, I reach across to the Democrats and in the Senate all the time," no, you don't. You absolutely do not.
Markey reached out with Ocasio.
Yeah, AOC.
That ultra nutbag.
She's on her. They're on the same side. They're both Democrats.
God.
I know.
Talking
that's
about
another
her,
reason not to vote for him, by the way.
She suggested, and I go to St. Mary's in Milford.
Yeah.
Did I say Milford? I'm in Uxbridge. Every Massachusetts town has a St. Mary's.
You're right.
But, it's true. But anyway, that's where I go because I'm only a mile away from the church, even though I still belong to Holy Trinity here in Woonsocket. But anyway, long story short, the pastor there, Father Nick, very, very upset with AOC. He didn't mention her name, but he mentioned something about Saint Damien, the leper guy, who went to Molokai in Hawaii and cured didn't cure them, but and he died because of that. And he was canonized a saint. And she said something about they should take his statue out of the Capitol, because apparently there's a statue of him in the U.S. Capitol, because he was in Belgium, he was white, and he personifies capital imperialism. Going to Hawaii because the people there are not white as a rule, in those days, and taking care of the lepers. He couldn't believe, he went crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen the guy so upset. He's such a wild-mannered guy. He was so upset, giving his sermon about don't touch my saints. But the point is, isn't that ridiculous? Going after Saint Damien because he personified white imperialism.
Because he went there to go help.
And imagine that. Think about that. I don't know if you guys have heard about that yet.
No, I hadn't heard about
You will
that.
be hearing about it.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised
What do you think of that?
they haven't been desecrating churches.
They
All those rioters, they're
don't
getting
be
close to it.
My mother used to say about a lot of things, don't be surprised. And then I'm beginning to believe it.
Yep.
Those ultra liberals, they're
No,
not
but
on the
that's-
same
yeah,
page
yeah.
with most of us, with middle class America.
And most of them do go against the Catholic Church.
Oh, sure.
All
right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee and program. More is coming up, and this segment of Coffee and has been sponsored by the Call newspaper.
The Call, Woonsocket's daily hometown newspaper since 1892, is still essentially a paper for the people. Our photographs record happenings that make news, and some will have historical significance in years to come, while others are intended to entertain or inform you of current events. They illustrate life's drama, which runs the gamut of humor to tragedy and everywhere in between. We're more than a reporter of daily news. Many readers continue to look to our paper for entertainment and relaxation offered by cartoons, comics, and other lighter features offered daily. In addition, we provide you with dates, times, and places of social event happenings throughout the community. Local sports covered daily by award-winning sports staff writers. If you're not subscribing to your local daily newspaper, you should. Call us today at 767-8522. Home delivery is just a phone call away at 767-8522. We take great pride in our publication and our sincere wish to serve you, our readers, at the Call.
Navigant Credit Union wants you to know that in spite of what some are saying about the economy, their thoughts are always with you, the Navigant member. If you have a small business or are involved in the management of one, you might want to talk to Navigant's Commercial Lending Department. If you need capital to expand or purchase new equipment, call the Business Lending Department at 401-233-4700. They'll visit your office and work with you to create a plan to get you the money you need without the usual problems. For more information, call 233-4700. Your success is Navigant's business. Navigant Credit Union. Let's enjoy the journey together.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
All right, Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Joe Callahan here with former mayor, City of Woonsocket, Charlie Waldelli. Romeo Berthum is here. All right, let's get Charlie all rankled up. Ready?
Okay,
Romeo?
I'm ready.
I don't know if you heard this story, Charlie, but the group out of Lincoln, the Knights of Columbus.
Oh, I belong to the Knights.
Okay, guess what?
What?
They're getting turned down for their usual financial help.
I know why.
Yeah, does Charlie?
Really?
You know why they're getting turned down?
No.
It's right.
No.
It's right in the name.
Knights of Columbus.
We don't want organizations do not want to give to any other organization that's got Columbus in the title, because it may come back to bite them at another time, because Columbus is such a bad figure.
I belong to
Isn't that unbelievable?
in Florida, I belong to St. Thomas More, which is a huge parish. In the Knights of Columbus, we have a little over 200 members, and we raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, all for worthwhile causes.
Of course.
That's all we do. We raise money to benefit every worthwhile cause that there is.
That's what the Knights do. Yeah.
My cousin Mo had a great question on he was teaching Italian.
Yeah.
And one question that he had, Romeo, was, what's the only bus that crossed the Atlantic?
The only bus to cross the Atlantic. I don't know.
The Columbus. He said, not one kid got it right. Not one of the exam papers.
Well, Charlie,
That's a Mo story.
I wish I was still teaching. I would use that.
Oh, yeah?
so there's a story in the Valley Breeze The Knights of Columbus and Lincoln says multiple requests for financial assistance to fund a food bank have been recently rejected because of the concern over helping a Columbus name organization. There's been criticism of that's
how petty, how sick, how petty.
But that's what if you read the article in the Breeze, they'll say, "Oh yeah, we've and people that have organizations that always gave to the Knights of Columbus to help out with their food pantry are just very politely saying, no, not this year." And then when they reach out to them and say, "What's happened?" Well, it's because of your name. And so they might have to look for them to change their name, Charlie.
No.
And they'll become and I was talking with Dave about this last week. Watch it become like the Knights of Charity or the Knights of something else. But watch for the name to go away so they can get the money back in to help with the food pantry.
They've got to stick to their guns.
It's not going to happen. I'm very close to the Knights of Columbus in Florida, and we have a large membership. And all we do is raise money for everybody and every worthwhile cause.
But if they're not going to get their money to do their charitable work, what's going to happen?
We have the sufficient means of raising money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But do you think a lot of people that fund the Knights, the people that donate to the Knights, are going to stop giving because of that comment that you just read? I mean, that's one.
I'd give
one
more.
Opinion.
I would donate more.
Just a small percentage of the. In other words, whoever made that comment about the,
Well, that's not just one. They've reached out to 6 or 7 different organizations that all gave.
Really.
They're all not giving, and they're all giving the same reason.
Don't they have a spine?
No backbone. No backbone.
I mean, come on.
We got governors.
Stick to your guns.
We got Democratic mayors and governors that are wusses.
You may get more people to donate to the Knights of Columbus, but it's the other businesses and organizations that gave lots of money.
Right.
And will they be able to make that up? And I don't know if they'll be able to. And then who's going to suffer? The people that need the food bank and say, well, there's no food this year because we weren't able to go out and buy it.
It's gotten from the ridiculous to the sublime.
Yeah.
To use a cliche.
It's a good cliche.
I always use Spiro Agnew. He said it best. We can never allow a vocal minority to impose their will on a silent majority. And there is a silent majority out there that's just fed up with looting and vandalism, all of that nonsense.
There was a political cartoon last week in the call, and it was someone going up taking a poll. Who are you going to vote for president? And there's a guy at the door wearing his Trump shirt and his MAGA hat, and he's saying, I'm voting for Biden because I don't want to get beat up.
Yeah, I saw that.
But he's got his Trump sign everywhere. It's like that's and you're right. People are just going to say, I'm voting for Biden, so you don't throw a brick through my window.
Right.
And then they're just going to go vote for Trump.
Yeah, you're right.
And so that silent majority may still just win out. All right.
Well, but 3 of us are part of the silent majority. We have not succumbed to the wishes of the ultra-liberal.
Well, we're very silent except on Monday mornings from 8 to 9.
Monday mornings, right? Moderator of the year. Yeah. Reader's Digest poll, or is it
Reader's Digest?
The Reader's Digest, the Reader's poll in the Woonsocket Call. Joe Callahan, Woonsocket's favorite historian, Romeo Berthium.
And Woonsocket's favorite former mayor.
Yeah, the oldest living former mayor.
How come
Mutual Admiration Society.
How come you don't go down to Florida to take part in the big the big hunt for the pythons in the Everglades? Down there in Florida, they just removed 5,000 pythons.
I believe it. Oh, there's a big contest every year.
Every year
they go into the Everglades.
It's the biggest. It's the longest, and.
Right.
No, it's funny. No one ever dies from that. You would think someone dumb, falling off the boat, would get squeezed by one of these pythons, but you never hear about that. But they capture these things.
And what are they doing with them, Joe?
How about these people that capture crocodiles? They go out there in these little boats in New Orleans.
They wrap up the snow.
Jeez.
Well, the snakes are considered non-native.
So
and therefore, there's no predator except for man.
Right.
There's no predator in the Everglades that's going to kill them.
So they're sending them back to where they came from.
No, I think they're killing them.
Yeah.
We're just getting rid of them. So the snakes are non-native. They're considered pests in the area. Their population originally came from pets people released with them, and then they started to
Yep.
reproduce.
That's how it happens.
Officials with Florida's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission say the snake's removal is an effort to protect native wildlife because they're going to eat
That's
the
right.
birds and
Right.
the frogs and everything else that's in the Everglades.
And
but nothing eats the pythons.
Yeah.
But you don't want to take part in it, Charlie or Romeo? How far are you guys from the Everglades?
Well,
Not
not
really that far. About
No,
50
not
miles
that
or so.
far. I'm a
You're
little
pretty far
further,
south.
yeah.
Sarasota is north of where we are, but
like Tampa, Bradenton,
if you go-
Sarasota.
I would
Venice.
say maybe an hour and a half away.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Alligator Alley, right?
On the way to the East Coast.
You ever
Yeah.
you ever take those boats with the big fans in the
Yes.
back and just
Yes.
Are they loud?
are they loud?
Oh my God!
The yearbooks.
Do you have to wear ear
Yeah,
things?
they give you earplugs or,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something like that.
So that motor's really loud, or the fan is really loud?
No, they're loud.
I don't know
They
what
give
it
you.
is.
They even give you headphones.
Yeah, to protect your
That's
ears.
how loud they are.
Well,
They go
that,
fast.
yeah.
They can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fast boats, right?
Yeah, they better be if you see something you don't want to see.
Pythons, crocodiles.
We've done that. Yeah. They have airboat rides. That's a big
Yeah.
deal out there. We did that a couple of years ago with my grandkids. They liked it. Didn't see too much wildlife though.
No.
I was
I
disappointed.
put my mother on one of those boats with me years ago. Yeah,
And she's
She
still
enjoyed
there.
it.
No. Wow.
I'm surprised the crocodiles don't go after the pythons.
Yeah, they're probably afraid of them.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
I never talked to one, so I'm going to ask.
Well,
next time I see one,
you
I'm
know,
going to ask.
say, hey, well, they probably, they don't taste good, so we don't go
Now
after.
you weren't talking about human pythons, were you?
No, I was not.
Human pythons.
There are some here in Woonsocket. They're all over the place.
They're everywhere.
And in your political life, Charlie, you must have bumped into a few of them.
A few pythons.
You know what I mean?
I ran into
Yeah.
quite a few.
I would think.
Being the pro-life spokesman for the House of Representatives for years when I was
Yeah.
there, I was fighting with the woman with the long skirts.
Who would that be?
Those were the pro-abortionists.
They call it pro-choice.
You must fight
Pro-choice.
Planned Parenthood all the time.
Constantly.
Yeah.
I remember Marianne Sorrentino, who writes
Yeah.
op-ed piece. She hated me.
She did?
Every time she
Well,
wrote a piece
yeah.
about that.
She was all
And,
about Planned Parenthood.
she was at a hearing that I had, and on this side where I said to the chairman of the committee, I said, on this side we had the side of the angels. And on that side, Mr. Chairman, are the refugees from Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, they were so upset they wouldn't see the speaker.
That's when you needed a bodyguard.
Oh yeah, I bet. That's who's throwing nails in your driveway.
One thing, when I put the bill in to raise the drinking age from 18 to 21, the first state in New England to do that, you should have seen the college kids in Providence attend the hearings and yell and scream and call me all kinds of names. It was awful.
I
Awful.
bet.
We were the first state in New England to do that, passed my bill that raised the, it was called the age of majority, remember?
Yep. Well, it still
age of
is,
majority
except
was,
for drinking. They made an exception.
Yeah.
Now, remember, I was teaching at the time when that was a law for about 2 or 3. It didn't last long.
Yeah, and,
But a lot of the 18-year-olds were buying for their
right.
15 and 16 and 17-year-old
Became
friends.
the
That was
age
the
of
problem.
majority. You could
Yeah.
vote at 18.
Yeah.
You could drink at 18. And
Yeah.
I said, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine was a lobbyist for AAA. He said, you know how many teenagers are getting killed?
Oh
So
yeah.
I said, I'm putting a bill in to raise the drinking age to
Yeah.
18. He said, good luck.
You mean to 21.
Yeah, the 21.
Till
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
And it passed. But during the early stages of hearings and all of that, the college kids in Providence did not like me.
Of course not.
But what about, I'm going to play the devil's advocate for a minute, even though we're rapidly running out of time. You're 18, you can vote, you can get drafted.
Right.
You're a legal adult, but you can't drink. That's like taking one of those several rights away.
Yeah, why not raise everything to 21?
And you
Yeah.
know what? One of the
That's-
greatest things that
that's-
happened to
that's
me,
true.
not one of the greatest things,
Yeah.
but I got a letter from a big deal guy from
Yeah.
AAA, and he said, thank you for your legislation. You know how many teenage lives you have saved with that bill?
Sure.
And then every state in New England followed.
It really screwed up my my brother, who
Yeah.
he was legal for like a month, and it never got grandfathered, and then he wasn't, and then he had to wait another year, and then he was legal for a month, and then he had to, and then he wasn't.
At one hearing one time, I said, I know you're not happy with me for raising the drinking age to 21, but I want you to know one other thing. The next bill I'm going to pass is to raise the driving age from 16 to 21.
18 would have been reasonable.
Yeah. And,
21's kind of...
I said, do you think, and I'm looking at these kids out there, I said, that you can handle a missile that goes
It's true.
100 miles an
Yeah,
hour that weighs 3,000 pounds? Are you psychologically equipped to handle that at 16? Of course not. So the next thing I'm going to do is raise the driver's age. I never did, but it was just like a threat, And they went, oh, no, I got a part-time job. I have to go get my job.
It's amazing that the kids who were against all this, driving age, drinking age, as soon as they reached, let's say, 21, they were all in favor of it. Yeah, that's true. That's those kids. They realized, it's like Mark Twain once said, I think he said it, when he was 15, he couldn't believe how stupid his father was. Then about 5 years later, when he was like 21.
Smart he was.
And you know what the next thing I did?
How smart the old man had gotten in the last 5 or 6 years.
The next thing I did, Joe, was pass a bill banning happy hours.
You're the one that did that, huh?
Yeah, so there are no happy hours in Rhode Island as a result of my legislation.
The anti-party man, right there.
Well, you can have you can have happy hour if you're serving food.
Yeah.
Or it's half off appetizers for the
But
next
you
hour.
cannot advertise
The
happy
drinks.
hours.
That's right.
Yeah, and I did
And
that.
you still can't. That's right.
Yeah. So see what I did to the drinking age?
Yes, you killed it.
Well, apparently it worked. It's going to be 21 now.
I asked my daughter about, because she's 14, almost 15,
Wow.
should we lower the voting age to 16? And she thinks we should. I'm like, oh my God.
I
no.
agree with that.
Do you really?
Yes,
The voting age to 16?
And I'll tell you why.
Oh.
I was a teacher for
Romeo.
25
I
years.
remember.
No.
All right.
Kids are in school at that age. Most of my juniors are 16, taking U.S. history and American government. And that's when they know the most about politics, and they really get in. Remember, you used to come and speak to the classes and
Remember
everything?
what I used to tell
I
them?
really believe that could be something that I would seriously consider.
I would
Believe me.
address Romeo's
I know.
classes
Yep.
in the auditorium, and I told the
Yeah.
kids how impotent they were.
Yeah. And some of them, that's not true.
You can't even vote against me. You can't even vote.
No, but really, I think that's something they should consider.
No,
That's controversial, but
It is.
One of
All
my
right, we got to go. So thanks for listening in to the Coffee and program. Appreciate it so much. Romeo, thanks for coming in.
always a pleasure.
All right. And Charlie, thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you, Romeo, for the blueberry muffin with the candle.
Happy
celebrating
birthday,
my
sir.
birthday one day.
Hey,
in
listen.
advance, so it's good.
You walk out of here at 86. Next week, you come in, you're 87.
Yeah,
Isn't that amazing how it
about
works?
that, right? It's
And
amazing
you
how
begin,
things
and you
work
will
out.
begin your 88th year tomorrow.
Wow.